Hi everyone, I'm Jovan Kroski of the Los Angeles Galaxy. I'd like to invite you to participate in MLS Futbolito, the official 4-versus-4 tournament of Major League Soccer.
MLS Futbolito, sponsored by Panasonic and Radio Shack, captures the excitement of great competition, food, music, and fun for the entire family. In addition, you may have the opportunity to meet Carlos El Pibe Valderrama along with your favorite MLS players. For more information, visit MLSFutbolito.com or call toll-free 866-965-7484.
Space is limited. Make sure you register your team today. MLS Futbolito, it's your game.
Carlos, yes! Now Williams has it going, finish it! What a cracking goal!
Great ball, look at this bang! How do you like it?
And look at this move. Look at the cutback. He hits a left-footed laser.
Takes it and puts it in! What a response for the earthquake!
We have reached the final week of the regular season. Welcome to MLS Wrap with John Harkes. I'm Sean Wheelock.
Playoffs abound. 2 teams eliminated today. The 8 will go through. Thomas Rongen is also joining us in the studio tonight, head coach of Chivas USA.
I got a little excited there.
That's okay.
Playoffs are almost starting.
Been coming off all year.
Is what we have in store for you tonight on MLS Wrap. Entering MLS Week 29, Columbus has won the Eastern Conference regular season title. The Crew, the Metro Stars, and DC United have all clinched a place in the MLS Cup playoffs. Kansas City is atop the Western Conference, 3 points clear of LA. The Wizards, the Galaxy, and Colorado have all qualified for the postseason. 4 matches today in MLS. The 2004 regular season concludes tomorrow with DC United home to the Metro Stars. 1 playoff spot remaining from the Eastern Conference. New England must win. Chicago needs only a draw. Tonight, the 2 clubs met at Gillette Stadium.
Taylor Twellman trying to lift his team at home. A last chance situation really for the Reds to get through. And the Heron up top. The goal scorer of late with Chicago Fire. He has been on form. Now they're playing away from home. All they need is a draw.
Pick this up, 7th minute, first opportunity for the Fire.
You see there Andy Williams pushing forward, attacking midfield. He has played up front as well. Chicago Fire having a tough season, up and down, inconsistent due to injuries. National team call-ups as well.
Long service from Rusty Pierce, now in the 9th minute.
There's an opportunity from distance. You love to see this strike outside the box. Testing the goalkeeper, Henry Ring, early in this game.
To the 19th minute we go. Chicago trying to create on the flank.
And again, another chance opportunity. This game going back and forth. Not a lot played through the midfield or possession-wise, but opportunities abound.
And Andy Aron, the Costa Rican international, down in the penalty area. No foul called, but he is obviously injured.
And that's a great tackle there by Avery John, just coming in from behind, making sure he gets all ball.
Off the short corner kick now for the Revolution, 27th minute.
This is a scramble through the box and unfortunately does not find the target. New England still trying to get their rhythm in the game at home. Stevie Nicol pushing his team on. Here's a free kick situation for New England.
In the 44th minute, and that's just off target.
And that's a great shot by Kinsella. Very good touch on the ball. Like to see him on dead ball situations. He has been brought back into the side. Stevie Nicol electing to choose him as a starter the last 2 matches now.
More from the Revolution on the stroke of halftime. That's an easy save for Henry Ring.
And it's better from the New England Revolution, though, trying to put more balls into the box. See Pat Noonan on the end of that header.
So 0-0 through the first half, now second half, 48th minute.
Again, now the New England Revolution coming out a little bit brighter than they did in the first half. Especially being at home, I see an opportunity here. Ring again with the save. Not enough balls being played directly through to Twellman. There's Kinsella on the header.
56th minute, Kinsella whipping that ball in and finished 1-0 to the Revolution.
And there it is, Clint Dempsey pushing forward again. 7th goal of the season, and he has scored some beauties this year as a rookie. Look at this opportunity. The ball just falls down, but he is there attacking the ball. Good chance for them to go 1-0 up, and they do.
Just 1 minute later, 57th minute, off the Andy Williams corner kick, and we are level at 1 goal apiece.
The Chicago Fire answers right back 60 seconds later. Nate Jakwa finding space at the back post. Unmarked, and it looked like New England Revolution really was playing in a zone situation here. And you see Avery John challenging the ball. And Heron was on the back post as well, wide open. Nate Jakwa getting his head on this one, 1-1.
Now to the 59th minute.
Another opportunity here, and take a look at Stevie Ralston. What a brilliant finish from Stevie Ralston, pushing forward. That's a great goal. 7th goal of the season for Stevie as well. Pushing from the right back situation. Look at Kinsella. What an opportunity. Finds his player, good vision, chip ball through. And what a delicate touch from Ralston. Good finish there over ring.
So goals coming in the 56th, the 57th, and the 59th minute. 2-1 the Revolution with the advantage. Now to the 75th minute.
You see this turn here, but this is Aaron. Andy Aaron, and he just goes wide over the top. Lacking in the quality around the final third for the Fire, but they did have a lot of chances. They created a lot towards the end of this game. They put them under pressure. Here again, we see Ralph, but the shot is straight at Matt Reese. Goalkeeper holding on to this one, especially with the rain coming down, the weather, making it wet surface.
Free kick for the Fire. And Damani Ralph, that's badly off target.
And this is in the 90th minute, Sean, where it really counts, and they need an opportunity. Stephen Nickel, just before that, was screaming and yelling about the free kick opportunity. You don't want to give any dead ball situations away to the Fire. And unfortunately, they just do not hit the target. And that is it. The referee blows the final whistle, and the Revolution find themselves into the playoffs.
So 2-1, New England defeats Chicago. And a fantastic effort for the Revolution. Remember, the Fire needed only a draw away at Gillette Stadium to get through to the playoffs. But instead, as Stevie Nickel celebrates, it's his side, the New England Revolution, claiming the 4th and final playoff place in the Eastern Conference. After the match, Steve Ralston spoke about the qualifying for the postseason.
Feels so good. I hate doing this every year because I think I'm gonna have a heart attack in a couple years. I mean, every year we do this, we come down to the last game. I just wish we can get in the playoff slide earlier than this. Columbus is a great team. They've been on a roll, but I think we have a lot of confidence right now. Anything can happen in the playoffs. We knew that. Our goal is to get in and see what happens. So we feel comfortable where we are. We feel like we have a good chance of beating them.
Tonight we were all playing with purpose, you know what I mean? Everybody came out and gave 110%. We just worked hard, put the ball in the back of the net, defended well when we needed to, and got the win going into the playoffs. So I just think it was an effort. Everybody was playing with heart, and you can't ask for more.
You know, this is a team, Sean, that really needed it. It was a do-or-die situation. They had to come out and play aggressively from the beginning, right from the kickoff. And I think they lacked a little bit of urgency, and they've shown that in the last 9 games, really, only winning 2 of the last 9 games. So not a team that's on form. They didn't have a lot of rhythm in the game today either as well. But it all started, you know, some of the tackles that were flying in there, and one of them started with Taylor Twellman.
Taylor Twellman played very well in this match. The character test for New England, and they passed it, was the equalizer came 1 minute after their goal, then 2 minutes after the Chicago equalizer, they went back up 2-1.
Well, I think a lot of that has to do with the changes that Stevie Nickel has made as well. Putting Kinsella back into the attacking midfield role, he's going to be able to get on the ball, and his vision opened up this game, and playing that ball through to Ralston, which is rare. We didn't see Ralston a lot in this game, but hey, when he shines, he does shine, and he did it today, and he finished that goal very well, and they finished up with the win 2-1 at home.
So Taylor Twellman starting to show that form. He tied for the Golden Boot with Carlos Ruiz last year. Maybe he can get hot in the playoffs and the Revolution can do something.
Well, let's take a look at some of the things that Taylor Twellman really contributed today on this pitch at home. Here he is just digging in. Some of the things, maybe he's not putting the ball in the back of the net, but here comes a fierce tackle from Taylor Twellman. Now, this is a guy who needs to be on form for the Revolution. He picks up a yellow card here. It's the 21st minute in the game, but he ignites his team. He gets behind them. He starts saying, look, boys, if someone's going to go after him, then it might be me. Here's another opportunity here. Ball gets played in the box from Leonard. You see, there he is. He's on top of that one. Good save there by Ring, but if Twellman is pushing his team in other ways, maybe he's not putting the ball in the back of net, but at least if he is pushing the players up front, he's closing down people, he's showing the energy as well. And he has the experience, and he still has an opportunity now, if he gets his team into the playoffs, to shine for Bruce Arena. Who knows? They've already qualified through to the national team, to the next round, the phase of qualification rounds. They've got a game against Jamaica left, so who knows? He might get called in, and no better time to shine than to show your team right now in the Revolution that they can play. And if Ralston starts scoring goals as well going into the postseason, he's had a rough season this year, but he seems to be picking it up right now and pushing his team through into the playoffs.
John, now the other side of this result is that Chicago, they won the Supporters' Shield last year, they won the U.S. Open Cup, they were runners-up in MLS Cup final, and they finished 5th dead last in the East, and they failed to make the playoffs for the first time in club history.
Yeah, it's amazing how things can change from one year to the next, and Dave Sarachan, an incredible year last year, Sean. You just said all the accolades that they brought to that club under Dave Sarachan's reign. This year coming in, tough season. It has not a lot to do with the coach, but a lot of things to do with the players on the field. Chris Armas only had 11 or 12 games under his belt due to injury. Ante Razov's out of this side. Bocanegra leaves the club, goes over to Fulham overseas. They didn't really fill in that back position as well, solidified the back line. And also, let's not forget about DeMarcus Beasley. Leaving him out as well. He's going overseas. He plays in PSV. This is a guy that they have to replace. Justin Mapp's injured, so a lot of injuries. Jesse Marsh was out good half of the season. National team call-ups, I think they suffered from that.
And, John, of all the names you mentioned, I think really they have to look to the loss of Carlos Bocanegra, of course, in the starting 11 every week now for Fulham in the Premiership, maybe the major factor why the Chicago Fire missed the playoffs for the first time in club history. When MLS Wrap returns, it's one match for the final playoff position from the Western Conference. The Dallas Burn are home to the San Jose Earthquakes. Dallas needs a victory, San Jose needing only a draw. But first, tonight's trivia presented by the National Soccer Hall of Fame. Who is the only club to fail to qualify for the postseason the year after winning the MLS Cup?
So what's this about our Guinness again?
I've discovered that Guinness Draft has only 125 calories.
Only 125 calories? Brilliant! What else have you been up to?
I've invented this little book. It's black. You put women's phone numbers in it.
A little black book? Brilliant!
Come here often. You can also use it as a coaster.
A coaster? Brilliant!
Brilliant!
Guinness Draft has only 125 calories. Enjoy it responsibly.
Brilliant!
Bobcat 3625. Three, 7, 2, 6. Saber 15. This is Bobcat 36. Confirm weapons and enemy scan. Coordinates for airstrike as follows. 3, Echo, Hotel. Over. Overwatch. This is Bolt 2 in position. Over.
No.
Hey, Howie, what are you doing? Sleeping? Wake up! Hey, Buckethead, get up. Hey, nice golf game today, little buddy.
Somebody, please stop the pain. He's killing my minutes. I needed a wireless plan.
With Radio Shack's pain-free wireless sale, you get great deals on plans and phones. Like this LG VX6000 camera phone from Verizon Wireless, just $49.99 with new 2-year agreement.
Can you transfer all the numbers except that one?
Radio Shack.
MLS is back, and so are we.
Hi, I'm Freddie Adu. You're watching World Class Soccer on Fox Sports World.
The only club to fail to qualify for the postseason the year after winning the MLS Cup, DC United in 2000. The San Jose Earthquakes are desperately trying to avoid that distinction. Now, coming into this final match of the regular season, San Jose needs only a draw. The Dallas Burn, meanwhile, need a victory to get in from the Western Conference. Tonight, the two clubs met at the Cotton Bowl.
Eddie Johnson, fresh from his hat trick midweek with the U.S. national team. Landon Donovan, the captain as well, notching a goal and an assist. These two going head-to-head at the Cotton Bowl, and the opportunities fall first to San Jose away from home. Great opportunity in the box there off a dead ball situation from Landon. Great ball.
And that save made by Jeff Cassar, back as the first-choice goalkeeper, replacing Scott Garlick.
You see Mulrooney pushing forward there. One of the rare occasions that he comes from the deep midfield, center midfield position. Opportunity again here for San Jose on the attack. Away from home, great effort. Cassar with the save.
Ching having that crack. Missing the appearance for the United States through minor injury, but in the starting 11, obviously healthy for San Jose. Now to the 11th minute. First good opportunity of the match for Dallas.
And that's Brad Davis getting a good cross in there. Eddie Johnson showing a little bit of what he's made of, getting a great opportunity to get on top of the ball. Just unfortunately in that final third, not the quality that he wanted. Here again, we see Jason Christ down the wing. Almost the same type of situation. Jason, good patience here. Delivers a great left-footed ball, and there it is. Eddie Johnson. First goal of the night, 12th goal of the season. Great finish from Eddie Johnson, left-footed.
And 1-0 to the Dallas Burn, getting that first goal of the match, obviously huge for Dallas.
You see him in a good position as well. And that's the confidence that he gets from playing with the U.S. national team, making the most of his time.
So 1-0 to Dallas, now forward to the 31st minute, Burn right back on the attack.
And again, here goes another situation. Look at that from Ronnie O'Brien. What a great effort from outside the area. He knows it as well. Just bent away from the far post. Jason Christ dropping this ball back. Perfectly weighted pass sets up Ronnie O'Brien.
Now San Jose down 1-0 in the 34th minute.
And what a run from Brian Mullen to start in his own half. Landon Donovan to Ching, and there it is. There's the equalizer right there. Brian Ching on the doorstep. And a great ball from Landon Donovan. Picks him out, doesn't even have to move. But Brian Mullen really starts this run from deep in his own half.
Ching was in the A-League 2 years ago. Give him 12 on the season. That's top of the table in MLS. So 1-1 scoreline, forward now to the 35th minute.
Here's an opportunity again for San Jose. Picking up things in the midfield. Mullen again creating opportunities. Corrales at the back post. And they go up 2-1. Take a look at the game that Brian Mullen is having. Deep penetrating runs from the back. Dominic Kinnear loves to see this from his fullback.
To the byline, beautifully cut by Mullen, and the cool finish by Ramiro Corrales. So 2-1 to San Jose.
And here he is again, Mullen. Look at this, picking up his own slide tackle and trying to keep it alive, but unfortunately it just falls to the feet of Cassar. But Mullen, ever so dangerous up that right flank, creating problems for Dallas at home. There you see him there, giving a little limp before halftime, but he was okay.
Second half, 63rd minute, still a 2-1 advantage to San Jose.
And again, San Jose here on the defense, but there it is. Perea with the second goal and the tying goal in the match. First goal of the season. He is now showing up at the last game of the season. See Valakari keeping this ball alive, and it falls down to Perea.
But remember, this 2-2 scoreline benefits San Jose. Dallas has to win this match to make the postseason. 75th minute now. Dallas taking chances, pushing forward.
You see here Christ on the end of this one after Eddie Johnson. You see Pat Onstad missing that opportunity, but so did Christ, and it goes over the crossbar. Here to challenge there from Eddie Johnson. See Pat Onstad dropping this one down. Christ gets an opportunity, kind of a half chance. Still Pat Onstad in the right place at the right time to at least force him to put that over the bar. Now we see San Jose down the other end. There's a shot from distance, really non-threatening to the goal of Jeff Cassar.
Colin Clark looking on, 83rd minute. Dallas again putting numbers forward.
And this time comes to the back post here in the number 15. Eric Quill came in as a sub. Oh! Just wide of the back post. There was an opportunity. Get on the score sheet as a substitute right away, make his mark. And that one just sailed wide of the back post.
2 minutes from full time, off the set piece for San Jose, and off the woodwork.
Look at that from Ching. Talk about a bullet. He finds the woodwork, has a keeper beat as well. And now's an opportunity. Corey Gibbs on the header. Jason Christ with the free kick. Delicate touch into the box. Gibbs ever so close, but unfortunately for the Burn, they finish with a 2-2 tie at home and do not advance into the playoffs for the second year running.
And that result, of course, gives the Earthquakes a berth in the MLS Cup playoffs. And, John, we were 1 goal away from having the 2 Cup finalists last year failing to reach the postseason this year.
Yeah, I know. It was an opportunity for San Jose. They go into this game with 37 points and the Dallas Burn only on 35. San Jose has played some good football throughout the season. Maybe inconsistent, yeah. New coach, though, Dominic Kinnear taking over this side. Few injuries here and there. They traded off some players. Lagos has left the club. A few others as well. But going into this, he's going against Colin Clark. Here's another new coach, Sean, who's taking over the Dallas Burn and maybe put some fresh faces out there. You got an Eddie Johnson playing very well. Jason Christ has been injured throughout most of the season, so inconsistent in his play. But you'd love to see him. He's a scoring champion in MLS. maybe he'll get an opportunity out there. But Dallas just didn't provide enough football tonight for them to even break through and get the result at home.
I thought Dallas gave a really good account of themselves in that match, John. But I like, too, that San Jose didn't pack it in for 90 minutes. They were playing attacking football from the start.
Absolutely. And one of the changing points in the game, and you hate to say this, Ron Eklund has been a fantastic player for them. He's always a good footballer, great passer of the ball, hustler as well in the midfield. But he came off injured, Sean. Di Rosario comes on, and now they got even more attacking options with Ching, Landon Donovan, and Di Rosario playing up there, more like a diamond and a 3. Those two running off of each other up top, Ching and Landon, and then you got Di Rosario, who was kind of like switching positions with Landon. So it gave Dallas Burn a lot of problems in the back, and I think that's where really San Jose took advantage of their options in the box.
Dallas finished dead last in MLS last season. Colin Clark, I think, doing a good job, really improving the side, but again, still falling short.
Well, you hate to say it, Sean, I mean, but this is a team who's going to be moving into a new stadium next year as well, and, you know, you hate to say the coaches are always under pressure, but they are in MLS. You have to deliver, you have to, you know, the sad thing is that you talk about a team like that who hasn't played so well. They're only on 35 points, and no team in the league has really won half of their games, and that's not good for the league, really, at this stage. So, you know, where is the pressure? Is it coming from the bosses in MLS, from the owners of the clubs themselves? Who's going to challenge them? But we'll have to see what happens with Dallas in the offseason.
So Dallas, though, doing a nice job trying to turn things around, falling 1 goal short of reaching the postseason. Stay with us, everyone, when John Harkes and I return. The Kansas City Wizards attempt to lock up the #1 seed in the Western Conference as they're home to Los Angeles, and we'll be joined live in studio by Thomas Rongen. But first, this week's Who Said It. History has shown that the teams I've coached always have been very productive, and I think that's what is expected from our fans here in Los Angeles.
Get ready to experience the biggest event on DVD. Day after tomorrow, own the DVD today.
Oh, we'll be fine.
This is Bob. Bob is doing well. Very well indeed. That's because not long ago, Bob realized that he needed something better in his life. And what did he get? Why, a big boost of confidence, a little more self-esteem, and a very happy missus at home. Free samples of Enzyte now available while supplies last. Just call or visit fordenzyte.com. Enzyte, the once-a-day tablet for natural male enhancement. This is Bob. Bob is looking cool. And with a call to Enzyte about natural male enhancement, Bob is living large. In a few short weeks, Bob has a big new spring of confidence. A generous swelling of pride. And the one thing every man deserves, a little well-earned respect from the neighborhood. Free samples of Enzyte now available while supplies last. Just call or visit fordenzyte.com. Enzyte, the once-a-day tablet for natural male enhancement.
This Sunday, tradition, passion, and pride will be on display as England's finest clubs go head-to-head. The ultimate objective is the Barclays Premier League title. This season promises to be the most epic yet, as 20 teams go all out for glory. This Sunday, catch the premiership on Fox Sports World, America's soccer channel. This Sunday, it will be carnival time as the boys from Brazil celebrate Jogo Bonito. The current champions are Cruzeiro, but a host of gatecrashers want to spoil the party and stake a claim for the title of the best football team in the land. Who will prevail in the race for the Brazilian crown? This Sunday, Futebol Brasileiro is exclusively on Fox Sports World. You're watching Fox Sports World.
The words of new Chivas USA head coach Thomas Rongen. Welcome back to MLS Wrap on Fox Sports World with John Harkes. I'm Sean Wheelock. Thomas Rongen will be joining us in mere moments here live on this set of MLS Wrap. And so far tonight, you have seen 2 clubs reach the playoffs. Of course, they're trying to solve the playoff picture in Major League Soccer. Now, the Kansas City Wizards know that they are into the postseason. What they're gunning for now is the #1 seed in the West. At Arrowhead Stadium, it's KC home to LA.
Josh Wolf fresh from the midweek game as well. The U.S. International really starting to come on form towards the end, as well as Jovan Karofsky. 2-goal situation for L.A. last week. He replaces Ruiz up front. And he has a great chance early on. You see Boashani picking that ball up from Tony Miola, who has been injured with an Achilles tendon problem. Boashani deputizing very well.
Boashani may be the starting goalkeeper if Miola's still out through that injury when the playoffs begin next week. First chance for the Wizards on target in the 7th minute. No worries for Kevin Hartman.
Kevin Hartman picking that one up, no problem at all. You see the combination play through from Kansas City doing very well. That's a good tackle in there. You see Hartman trying to keep this one alive. Actually falls out for a corner kick. See Kansas City really playing attacking football right from the beginning in this home game tonight. There's a good strike, but it's from outside. You would love to see that one really put across the box, Sean. You got lots of players in there.
Jose Burciaga returning on the short corner, trying to beat Hartman near post. Still 0-0 in this match at Arrowhead Stadium. Wizards right back on the attack, 14th minute.
And again, here's an opportunity there. Davey Arnaud getting on the header. Kind of a half chance as well for Kansas City. No chances really going into the goal as of yet. But again, Kansas City pushing forward. You say Igor Simatankov trying to get that shot off deep from midfield, Sean, pushing through.
Now, Kansas City, to win the Western Conference, they just need to not lose this match by 2 or more goals. So Bob Gansler obviously feeling like his side can take some chances at home.
We'll take a look at this, though, from Jack Dewsbury creating this opportunity for the fresh Josh Wolf. And he's finding his game, Josh Wolf, as they say. Healthy, fit as well. Jack Dewsbury, though, great stuff to create this opportunity. Watch this. Just a great ball to the back post as well. Good touch, first touch here, but watch this. Just a little bit of, lures him in and see you later. Gets an opportunity, saved there on the line by Suarez, but there's Wolf on the doorstep to put it away, 1-0.
So his 10th of the season, that coming in the 23rd minute, and a good opportunity 3 minutes later for the Galaxy.
Alan Gordon up front for the Galaxy as well. He brought into this fold. Youngster getting an opportunity there. The last 2 to 3 weeks getting on the field. Header just goes over the bar there from Chris Albright.
From the set piece, Diego Gutierrez, 31st minute, and that nearly was 2-0 to Kansas City.
Simatankov, head in hands. He's wondering, how did I miss that one? I think that one's harder to miss than it is to actually put in the back of the net, but unfortunately for KC, he does not finish on that attempt. Here's an opportunity for the Galaxy, and it's cleared off the goal line as well. Terry Savagnin, center midfielder, defensive midfielder for the U.S. International this week as well against Panama, winning 6-0.
So 1-0 to the Wizards through halftime, now 54th minute.
Opportunity again, but just over the top, lacking quality in the final third for the Galaxy.
Andreas Herzog into this match as a substitution and almost beating Boashani to the near post.
Boashani really having a good stance there, good position, just behind the wall, making a great save. You see this just bending around there, very dangerous, Herzog. Great left foot. See, he and Ruiz both come off the bench in the second half here as LA tries to get a goal or two away from home.
Boashani really looking comfortable, finding great form, replacing the still injured Tony Miola. So 68th minute, Ruiz back in for the Galaxy, replacing Alan Gordon, trying to make something happen for LA. Remember, they would now have to win 3-1 at this point to win the Western Conference, and that shot off target.
That shot off target, but, you know, see Steve Sampson trying to change a little bit the dynamics of the game itself, adding an extra forward there with loads of experience, and not just a forward, but an actual proven goal scorer over the years. Carlos Ruiz back in the fold.
Kansas City doing so well to defend. Jose Burciaga on Jovan Kirovski, 8 minutes from time. Kansas City pushing forward now in the 82nd minute.
There's a good save by Hartman there at the back post. You see that ball into Jack Dewsbury. Again, Kansas City, that's how they created the first goal, just trying to switch the point of attack, finding the open opportunities, those spaces in behind LA's defense, which they did find on occasion throughout the night.
Ruiz having a crack nowhere near target, 87th minute.
Ruiz really showing not on form, that you see there. Hopefully he will get that going into the playoffs for the LA fans, but not showing it tonight. See another excellent opportunity there for Jack Dewsbury, who had a very good game tonight for Kansas City Wizards. Bob Gansler's got to be happy with his side. There it is, Kansas City, 1-0 winners at home. And they continue on good form throughout the second half of the season this year.
With that result, the Wizards win the Western Conference regular season title. After full time, Josh Wolf spoke about the victory.
Well, I think we stressed coming out and trying to put some pressure on them. Even though they were going to come out, we figured there'd be some space. It was a bit sloppy at the beginning, but these games are tight. I'd say the end of the season, the last 5 or 6 games have been very tight, very tough battles, and we've been very solid in those types of games this year. And tonight was just another example of that. Jimmy, Nicky, Zavagnin, and Diego did a heck of a job in the middle, shutting them down, and we were able to get one. And that's kind of been our theme the last month. We were able to get one and sit on that and hold it.
We've got a good bunch of players. Obviously, they're talented enough, maybe a little more talented than some people were inclined to give us credit. And they've also been very resilient. They bought into the idea that everyone is important, everyone is vital to our success, and you might have to play little different roles as we go along, and no one is irreplaceable. And, well, Mr. Hunt.
You got to love that from Gansler, saying that Mr. Hunt's the only one who's irreplaceable on this team. And I think one thing that Bob Gansler there to coach, loads of experience in this league and loads of experience, obviously, with the 1990 World Cup team as well, and respect to him. What he has done is he's instilled into this team the belief in what he's trying to do on the field. And when you have players like that who believe in the coach, believe in the system as well, and they understand their roles right away, they know that they can come off the bench and just fill. And if there's players that aren't doing their job on the field, whether they've been starters all season long, Bob Gansler's going to say, listen, you're not doing it right now for me. This guy steps on the field and he fills that role very well. Here's the other thing as well. If you've got players that can do that, that means you've got loads of depth in this side as well. And that shows, Sean, that they're going in and possibly being a very good championship side.
And you nailed it, Harksey, because they do have depth. You think right now, down the stretch, no Preki, no Chris Klein, no Tony Meola. For the third time in club history, they win the Western Conference regular season title. Well, speaking of the Western Conference, a club that we assume is going to be in the Western Conference next year, unless they go to that single table. Fingers crossed, knock on wood. The head coach of Chivas USA.
I wasn't knocking on my head there, were you?
Thomas Rongen is here with us. Thomas, great to see you. Thank you so much for being on the program.
Good to be here, guys. Thank you.
So probably in the Western Conference. I know you probably, as a former Ajax player, like the single table, but that's probably a discussion for a different show.
That's food for a lot of discussion, no doubt.
Well, let's talk first about you being named head coach of Chivas USA. I think it's a great hire. This is your 4th MLS club. You obviously know the league. You know U.S. soccer. You certainly are experienced in MLS. But a lot of people were thinking they were going to hire a Hispanic, or at least someone who was fluent in Spanish.
Well, certainly I was somewhat surprised as well. But if you look at the success formula for Chivas in Guadalajara with Hans Westerhoff and Galindo as his assistant coach for 2 years, and Galindo now being the head coach for Chivas in Guadalajara, it made a lot of sense. They brought somebody in this particular situation that knows MLS, that understands the expansion draft, that understands the super draft, that has a very good feel for, the developmental scheme, the grassroots football, can put up his business head once in a while, understand that players need to go out in the community, has a good sense of the great tradition that Chivas from Mexico brings to MLS as well. I think in the end it made a lot of sense, and I clearly felt that I was the right choice for this particular club.
Well, just kind of, speaking on that, Thomas, you talked about the tradition that they have in this club, and this is something that's going to be new for MLS. We're nine years young, really, in Major League Soccer, and you're talking about a club that's been almost around, for 100 years now. That history and the actual, just basically the fans, the passion, everything that they bring to this league, that gives a lot of high expectations on this club. I mean, is there going to be more pressure on you this year taking over that position?
There should be pressure no matter what, John. Right. You know it at that level. You've played in the highest level as a player, and certainly you end up in a good position as a coach too one of these days, I'm sure, because you're paying your dues. But there should be pressure. I mean, if there wasn't any pressure, I wouldn't be in the business. Saying that, though, it's a high-profile club next year. There's a high level of expectation within the organization and from Jorge Vergara and Antonio Cuey, the 2 owners. And I always put tremendous pressure myself as well to put a product in the field that our fans will be proud of, based on a tradition, as John said, a decade of tradition or 100 years of tradition coming out of Mexico, combined with a young league. I think is a very, very exciting venture for MLS and a very smart business decision and a very good soccer decision as well.
Thomas, now you've spent this season, I think you're going to probably have to give up this job, but as the television commentator for DC United, I don't think you can probably still do both.
No, I can't.
But so you're very keen right now on what's going on in Major League Soccer, especially the Eastern Conference. Are you shocked by this run of form from the Columbus Crew?
Well, no, I'm not, and John touched on it. We see single entity at its best at this particular year. You look at the highest goal-scoring players. There's 2 of them at 12 goals. 96ers, Roy Lasser at 26, Raul Diaz-Arce, the great players, Moreno. Every year we're talking about 20 goals. So I think that tells you a little bit where the league has gone. And is that a knock on the product? Not necessarily. Is there more parity? Without a doubt. Does it make sense for the league that the last game of the season there's so much to play for that translates maybe in better crowds? I'm sure the higher level guys really enjoyed what they're seeing right now. I, on the other hand, feel that a dynasty at times, like DC United had early on, is healthy as well. Hopefully Chivas can accomplish that in the next few years, and that's obviously one of the goals that we will have.
You talked about the background, Thomas, with Westerhof as well, and the Dutch influence in the club. And, you know, with your ideals on the game itself, and we've seen you coaching, and we've seen the attractive football. You're going to bring that to this club as well, playing attacking football, the attractive, knocking the ball around and the possession type thing?
I think the foundation, the core group of players will be from Mexico. You know, let's be real honest. Our 3 senior international players, our 6 discoveries will come from Mexico, and preferably from our Chivas organization there. Foundation in football in Mexico is based on technical abilities, first and foremost, very similar to the Ajax system as well. And we're going to play an attractive, attacking brand of football, 3 players on top. We're going to go after people, and I think that will also be a neat thing to see, to have a team with already an established identity, a red thread coming from Guadalajara into LA, which makes it very interesting, I think, for MLS to watch and follow this team.
Flip-flopping things away from Chivas USA for a minute. What about seeing your old club there, New England Revolution, on the last day, getting into it? I mean, I made some statements, you know, they only won 2 of the last 9. I mean, you've coached at that club beforehand. Are you shocked about seeing that result against Chicago
No, not
Fire?
really. My first year there, their second year, and the first year I didn't make it to the playoffs, we also made it into the playoffs on a Paul Keegan goal.
Paul Keegan.
At Dallas to get to the playoffs. It doesn't. And it wouldn't surprise me if New England could end up again in the MLS Cup final as well. Although you got to put probably your eggs in one basket there in the East and say it's got to be Columbus, and in the West you got to say Kansas City, because they've been the most consistent team throughout the season and as of late.
So you do like Kansas City then out of the West, despite the injuries we were just talking about?
Yeah, I really do. John touched on Gansler's ability to get teams to play for him, players to play for him. Doesn't matter who gets on the field. They know their roles. They're very disciplined. They're organized. They're hard to break down. They're a hard team to beat, and they've been, as I said again, a team late in the season that just seems to get results no matter who's on the pitch, and Columbus has done the same thing.
Thomas, is there a side that you think could make a run that maybe not a lot of people are talking about that could win MLS Cup?
Yeah, and again, you know, signing with John, I think San Jose, sneaking in now late maybe. They clearly have the talent pool. You know, you look at on paper there, that team has a very good team, and has been somewhat inconsistent, but is a team, if they get hot at the right moment, and the right moment means, you know, in the first game of the playoffs, I think they can go all the way as well.
It's a strange kind of situation, Thomas, when we talk about it. I mean, the rest of the world, really, they do the one league table, and you have such a good season throughout, and you have the points up there, and you show that. I mean, Columbus Crew, they only have 5 losses this year. That's a great record, but they still, throughout the league itself, nobody's won half of their games.
Right.
And this is something that you talked about. You touched upon the parity of the league itself, but do you see that is it the actual product on the field, is it getting worse? Is it going downhill for the fans? I mean, you know, where are the goals going to come from? In the last 3 years, it went from the leading goal scorer having 20 to 15, and now we're talking about 12.
Yeah, and I don't necessarily think that's a negative. We can say that maybe our defenders have improved, that our younger players like Chet Marshall, Ryan Cochran have made immediate impact on this league. It's great to see Eddie Johnson, another young player, producing for our national team now, and hopefully Bruce will introduce some other younger, exciting players in his next game, the last game against Jamaica, to showcase that MLS has made great strides. And I still certainly feel that this league, as most leagues evolve, we're a young league, John, 9 years, you said it, we're going to our 10th year right now. There will be seasons where things are maybe not as great in terms of our statistics, but I think the brand of football that's being played is still a very good brand. I would like to see better quality international players if we can. Talking about the Donadonis, the Valderramas, the Mateus, we don't see those anymore. And I think the cap restrictions are one of the reasons for that. But I think we still have a great surplus of young players coming into the league that can contribute, combined with, you know, with some of the veteran players. Unfortunately, some of our American players have left the void. You know, John, Eric, list goes on with Balboa, you know, guys that have retired. I don't think we've replaced that level of quality and experience within those teams, and I think those are voids that need to be replaced shortly.
Well, you talked about some of the young players in the league. Thomas, you've coached the U20s for the last 3 years. You've done a very good job as well. You've seen the talent coming through, and you've also helped groom that talent, give them the confidence like an Eddie Johnson type player. How hard is it for you, going into a club situation, leaving that into Major League Soccer? It must have been a tough decision.
Yeah, it was, because John, that since we're almost neighbors in D.C., it's been a very enjoyable experience for me. It was great. I'm a teacher by nature. It's great to work with 18 and 19-year-olds, very talented players, the cream of the crop, and be able to produce as well. We came in 5th in the last World Cup, lost against Argentina with players like Cavanaghi, and played them toe-to-toe, really. And it was nice to see the players like a Marshall, like a Cochran, like a Ricardo Clark, like a Bobby Convey, like a Justin Knapp, even Freddie Adu and Clint Dempsey, responded so well, and are now guys that are playing very well in MLS. And that's really, in the end, John, the position. You like to win games, you like to qualify, you like to do well, but in the end, you want to push as many players up to the next level, be it national team level or be great players in MLS.
And you know these players so well, Thomas. You're going to be going after some of them.
Yeah, I probably would. We know the mechanism in MLS it's hard. Trading is not easy. You want something, you got to give something up. In the ideal world, in a super draft and expansion draft, you're not always going to end up with the players that you would like to see. But I think that we can establish a core group of players, international players, combined with the expansion draft where we pick 10 players, plus the super draft, that Chivas USA will be a very competitive team from day one.
Gracias, mi amigo. Yeah. ¿Cómo es su español?
Bueno.
Thomas, thank you so much.
He knows you got to speak Spanish, right?
That's absolutely.
Thank you so much for coming in. We appreciate it. Also, by the way, on a personal note, thank you so much for helping with my Dutch pronunciations. From
no
the
problem.
BC. You have a quick pick on the MLS Cup final. Put you on the spot here.
Well, I go with Kansas City and Columbus, and with outside teams right now. As I said, against San Jose, and I think a team that could really surprise a lot of people could be DC United.
Thomas? Maybe DC United in the final next year against Chivas USA? Or?
That would be perfecto.
Where does your heart lie, Thomas?
Where does it lie? Perfecto, John. Gracias.
That's great. Thomas, thank you so much for joining us on the show.
Continued
really
success. Thank you so much for coming in.
Nos vemos.
Thomas Rongen, the Spanish speaker, and the first ever head coach of Chivas USA that will begin playing Major League Soccer, coming in about 4 or 5 months. Stay with us, everyone. When MLS Wrap returns, Columbus attempts to capture the Supporters' Shield as they're away to Colorado, and Harksey will award the Honda MVP.
This copyrighted telecast of Major League Soccer may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Major League Soccer.
Hi, I'm Ray Beers, and you're watching Fox Sports World.
I began losing my hair about a year ago. Is it ever going to stop? What causes it to fall out anyway?
Let's say I'm ready to do something about my hair loss. What are my options?
Why me?
It's hard to know what to do when you start losing your hair. That's where Bosley comes in. For over 25 years, people have turned to us for answers to their questions about hair loss and hair restoration.
So what is natural hair restoration? Where does the hair come from? Is it permanent?
Does the hair actually grow?
To find out, just call this toll-free number. We'll send you this free video and comprehensive guidebook that give you the real facts about hair loss and the choices you have for dealing with it. Financing is available. So call now and discover how Bosley has advanced the science of natural hair restoration. How they use your own living hair to fill in the thin spots. You'll also meet people who were once losing their hair and see what they looked like then and now.
But here's the big question. Do you think my barber will remember me?
Learn about all your options. Call now and get the information you need to determine if hair restoration is right for you.
No. Hey, Howie, what are you doing? Sleeping? Wake up. Hey, Buckethead, get up. Hey, nice golf game today, little buddy.
Somebody, please stop the pain. He's killing my minutes. I needed a wireless plan.
With Radio Shack's pain-free wireless sale, you get great deals on plans and phones, like this Sprint PCS Vision Picture Phone VGA 1000 by Samsung, just $49.99 after instant rebate with 2-year agreement.
Can you transfer all the numbers except that one?
Radio Shack.
So what's this about the bottle?
Well, you know how we look so fit in our swim trunks.
Yes.
I've discovered that our Guinness draft has only 125 calories.
Only 125 calories? Brilliant! What else are you working on?
You know how your skin burns if you're on the beach too long?
Yes, it stings like the dickens.
Well, I've invented a lotion that protects you from the sun's rays.
Brilliant!
Brilliant!
Guinness Draft has only 125 calories. Enjoy it responsibly.
Brilliant!
Stop weighing yourself every day. You'll make yourself crazy. I'm Dr. Greg Cinnamon, and there are diet pills that lure you into thinking you're losing fat when all you've lost is meaningless weight. Cortislim suggests you hide your scale for the next 30 days while they show you a smarter way to measure weight loss success. How you look in the mirror and how loose your clothes fit. It's that easy. Cortislim, coupled with intelligent diet and exercise, impacts so many weight problems, including the cortisol hormone that stashes excess pounds and inches around your stubborn weight loss areas. One popular radio personality tells his audience he stopped weighing himself, but knows Cortislim is working because he's fitting into clothes he couldn't come close to wearing in months. Make Cortislim the scientific centerpiece of your healthy diet and exercise regimen and fit into the clothes you want to wear.
Call 1-800-259-4241. 1-800-259-4241.
The Columbus Crew need only a draw tonight to capture the Supporters' Shield, of course, awarded annually to the club with the best regular season in Major League Soccer. And also, Columbus trying to run their unbeaten streak to 18 matches. The Crew away to the Colorado Rapids.
Greg Andrulis in the first half of the season was almost on the chopping block being fired, but now he's turned his club around. Joe Cannon as well, being ever so good in goal for this year's Colorado Rapids.
Pick this up, Colorado on the attack in the 14th minute.
See this from Perez, and the shot just goes wide there. Opportunity from Colorado, trying to start out on form at home. Henderson getting in on the action there, hoping that would be a little bit more quality on the shot.
Now move 1 minute forward. Opportunity on the set piece for the Crew.
You see there's Cal Martino on the end of the header. Just nodding this one just past the post. Good delivery as well from Simon Elliott. Elliott's always so good on the dead ball situations. You see this curving in with the left peg. Sorry, that's Chad Marshall actually getting on the header there. Pushing forward.
Still 0-0, 19th minute. Rapids back on the attack.
This time see an opportunity. Goes wide here to Henderson. And he can strike a ball at right or left. He tries to catch John Bush at the near post, but great save from Bush.
That is a fantastic save by John Bush on this opportunity from Chris Henderson.
That's a great strike from Henderson as well. Trying to pick up the near post. Sometimes you catch the keeper cheating a little bit. Henderson playing very well in the second half of the season for the Colorado Rapids.
Now Crew on the attack in the 28th minute of this scoreless match.
Good vision there from Cal Martino. See a little bit of his skill. Actually, a lot of skill through the midfield. Putting his ball through. What vision in there. Edson Buttle trying to finish. Look at that ball. Splitting, threading the needle there. Unfortunately, his ball just a little bit too wide, but what a great save from Cannon again. I think Edson Buttle.
I think he's going to get my vote for league MVP.
He's up for it, definitely, from his performances throughout the year.
Still scoreless. Danny Zitella with the cross in the 41st minute and finish 1-0 to the Columbus Crew.
Now that is a good cross from Zitella, getting the starting position, the nod from Greg Andrulis. But look who makes that great finish from Duncan Allen, but is it really? We're going to see the replay again. Who really makes this opportunity work? And it's the run from Cal Martino at the near post. Look at this. He draws two players. Banky as well, who's not looking at this ball. You see Duncan Allen just kind of miskicks this ball, but it goes in anyway. And he's going to take it away from home. Columbus Crew go up 1-0 so far in the first half.
Second of the season for the New Zealand International. Now, first minute of the second half.
Again, Colorado trying to get on the score sheet here. See this opportunity, just going in there, trying to call for a penalty kick. The referee does give it.
So penalty kick awarded in the 46th minute. Tony Sana looking on in somewhat disbelief, amusement perhaps.
See Tony Sana just getting a little foot in there, and he might catch him. Catches him just enough for the penalty to be given. There, here's Henderson stepping up. And he has no doubt he buries this one. The experienced former U.S. international gets his team back in the score sheet. 1-1 tie right now. Colorado trying to get themselves in the driving seat.
So 1-1 the final score, and that draw gives the Crew their first ever MLS Supporters' Shield. After the match, Duncan Allen spoke about playoff expectations. Duncan out and said, you know, we have a lot of expectations. I can't do a New Zealand accent. And they do. Quite frankly, they do have a lot of expectations. 18 straight MLS matches now without a loss for the Crew, and they are the target team.
Well, I think they've done quite well. And earlier on when Thomas Rongen was here as a guest, Sean, I pointed out they only have 5 losses this year, but they didn't get a lot of wins. They got a lot of draws as well. But having said that, they've solidified this team. They've got a lot of quality in this side as well. Talk about teams that have good players on it. Kyle Martino comes to mind, Edson Buttle, Jeff Cunningham, Robin Fraser at the back has had a solid year as a defender, and then again John Bush. But you look at these other guys that are playing in there. You got Frankie Haydick. Tony Santa's just been added to the roster. Now they got Dante Washington, who came in as a sub tonight. A lot of more options coming in, a lot of experience. They mix that in with the young, enthusiastic pros that are coming into the fold. This looks like a very good team. But, you know, some of the players that played very well on the day, and you talk about Gutierrez at Kansas City as well, you know, Chris Winger played very well today for the Columbus Crew. But for me, the MVP of the day, I'm sorry, Sean, it's going to have to go to Brian Mullen of San Jose Earthquakes. You know, in this game, a very tight situation for San Jose to go away from home. It's a massive, huge game for them. They are the defending MLS Cup champions, and they have to go away and get a draw. And Brian Mullen really poured it on and created so many opportunities for San Jose going forward. He made penetrating runs from the deep defensive areas, created this first goal, and then here we are again. You see him, Mullen. Look at this. What a great run. Through 3 defenders there, beating the goalkeeper, Kassar. Really not the best thing from Kassar coming out, but he chips us through to Corrales, and that's a great finish from Corrales. But Mullen, he really sparked this team, and we talked about guys and leaders on the field like Landon Donovan, you know, Ching as well, Jeff Agus, who's been a leader. And now you see Brian Mullen, who really showed his form tonight for Dominic Kinnear. He provided it coming from deep positions. He put the good balls in the box, and he took players on and showed the guts and glory, and there it was in the final game.
It's setting up both of San Jose's goals tonight. Well, 6 goals were scored last week in Major League Soccer. We asked you to cast your vote for the MLS Goal of the Week. Honestly, there was really only one choice. Edson Buttle, Columbus Crew, your winner at FoxSportsWorld.com on MSN with 44%.
That's a deadly strike from Edson Buttle there. Showing his form, too, as of late. Greg and Jules has a lot of strikers that he can go to. Edson Buttle being one of them, and actually a couple weeks ago scoring 4 goals in one game, so that's a great finish.
Well, speaking of scoring 4 goals, the race for the MLS Golden Boot is the tightest in the 9-year history of Major League Soccer. Edson Buttle factoring in. He is on 11. Brian Ching, Eddie Johnson scoring today, both top of the table on 12. You see Ruiz on 11. There's Eskandarian. Guevara plays tomorrow. He can still win it. Josh Wolf also on 10 goals. When John and I return, we'll recap the day in MLS, set the playoff matchups, and announce the Goal of the Week finalists.
Next on Fox Sports World, the best show in Europe. Speed and precision meet in a high glamour league, the Barclays English Premier League.
Bobcat 3625. Three, 7, 2, 6. Saber 1-5. This is Bobcat 36. Confirm weapons enemy camp. Orders for airstrike as follows. 3, Echo, Hotel. Over. Overwatch. This is Call 2 in position. Over.
This is Bob. Bob is doing well. Very well indeed. That's because not long ago, Bob realized that he needed something better in his life. And what did he get? Why, a big boost of confidence, a little more self-esteem, and a very happy missus at home. Free samples of Enzyte now available while supplies last. Just call or visit fordenzyte.com. Enzyte, the once-a-day tablet for natural male enhancement. This is Bob. Bob is looking cool. And with a call to Enzyte about natural male enhancement, Bob is living large. In a few short weeks, Bob has a big new spring of confidence. A generous swelling of pride. And the one thing every man deserves, a little well-earned respect from the neighborhood. Free samples of Enzyte now available while supplies last. Just call or visit fordenzyte.com. Enzyte, the once-a-day tablet for natural male enhancement.
4 matches today in Major League Soccer. Time now for a look at the best moments in our Panasonic game shots. Columbus wins the Supporters Shield, 18 straight MLS matches without a loss.
Duncan out and finishing on this one. Camartino getting involved in the play. And Satella with a great ball across.
San Jose into the postseason.
San Jose in the postseason. Unfortunately for Perea and the rest of the Dallas Burn, they are out.
Kansas City wins the Western Conference regular season title.
Finishing strong with Josh Wolf on the score sheet.
And New England are into the playoffs.
New England scrapping away. They have given away many leads throughout the season this year, but they are in the playoffs.
So New England and Kansas City victorious today. The MLS regular season ends tomorrow with DC United home to the Metro Stars for the #2 seed in the Eastern Conference. Columbus has won the Eastern Conference and the Supporters Shield. Chicago fails to make the playoffs for the first time in club history. Kansas City are champions of the Western Conference. Dallas misses out on the postseason for the 2nd straight year. 10 goals scored today in Major League Soccer. We've pared it down to the 4 best. Those are our candidates for the MLS Goal of the Week. We'll begin. Nate Jaqua, Chicago Fire.
It's a great header. Nate Jaqua answering back after the early goal from Clint Dempsey. You see that header at the back post there. Great finish from Jaqua.
On the corner kick from Andy Williams on the outswinger and beautifully finished. Steve Ralston, New England Revolution.
Steve Ralston, what a delicate touch to beat Henry Ring. Nice finish over the top as well, showing his skill. Timing with his run and the good ball from Kinsella really helps the New England Revolution get into the playoffs here on the last day, the only situation they had.
Eddie Johnson, Dallas Burn.
And there's a good ball in there from Jason Christ. He becomes a provider, and Eddie Johnson. Great finish from him. Unfortunately, Dallas Burn do not go through to the final playoff situations, into the playoffs.
And Brian Ching from the San Jose Earthquakes.
There's a good goal. Take a look at this from Brian Mullen into Landon Donovan. Ching on the doorstep, right place at the right time. Great distribution there from Mullen and from Landon Donovan. Look at this. Beats him and cuts it back. Perfectly weighted pass over Valakari, and there's in the back of the net.
Cast your vote for the MLS Goal of the Week at foxsportsworld.com on MSN. The opening round of Major League Soccer's 2004 Cup playoffs begin on Friday night. Colorado is home to Los Angeles. Then 2 matches on Saturday and 1 match on Sunday. If DC United wins, this is the scenario. And if the Metro Stars win that match tomorrow for the #2 seed in the Eastern Conference, then the playoffs go like this. Christopher Sullivan will be in for Harksey next Saturday, and join me for MLS Wrap, 1 a.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. Pacific. So Kansas City wins the Western Conference, Columbus wins the Eastern Conference. John, maybe that's your matchup in the Cup final.
Absolutely. I mean, I think we talked about it, Kansas City being a strong team that's on form. You got Columbus Crew as well, doing very well. So, you know, it's anybody's game right now. We've just seen that. We got 2 teams like the Dallas Burn who are vying for position with San Jose. San Jose goes through, the MLS defending champions. And now you got another team like, New England Revolution, who hasn't played very well at all this year. But they have an opportunity now to shine in the postseason.
John, a team that
and you're booting me off the show next week, so thanks a lot.
You're being honored at the University of Virginia. That's a big deal.
That's true.
A very big deal.
That is true.
So, John, when you come back, we'll have a better idea of how the first round of the playoffs are going when you're back in 2 weeks. But going into next week's playoff matches, is there maybe a dark horse side that you like?
Well, I mean, I think Thomas Rongen spoke about it. You know, you look at teams that have gone up and down, and one team that hasn't been mentioned much at all, and that's Colorado Rapids. I think they've been very quiet. They've gone into the playoffs. You know, a DC United team as well. They're playing against the Metro Stars. They've got their number. They beat them away from home, a couple weeks ago, so maybe we'll see them through.
We want to thank our guest, the head coach of Chivas USA, Thomas Rongen. For our entire crew, I'm Sean Wheelock.
And I'm John Harks. I will not catch you next Saturday night, but I'll be watching MLS Wrap.
Thanks for watching MLS Wrap on Fox Sports World, America's soccer channel.